And hello to all my Leo friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for Sunflowery September 2022. Now today they have dialed up for you a love reading. This whole thing is going to be about love. I know we're doing that again in a week here, but this is love reading. We're going to focus on it right now. They want to designate a whole reading about it. So there is something majorly important in there that they want you Leos to be aware of, to the fact that they've said that we're doing no extras at the end of this reading either. So when that happens, they want to focus on the meat and potatoes of your reading, which is a love reading. We're going to set it up in that storyline format. The reason I like to do that is because it casts a very wide net across all the different Leos. So it's like a bunch of mini readings all in one. Very specific stuff comes out for a general reading. It's like a bunch of mini readings in one. Allows me to be accurate because there's going to be a story in there that is all about your love corner, your family corner, your relationship corner, even your close friends falls into the love corner. Very big place. So we're going to do that. No extra at the end, but fear not, because we're also going to do a Runestone. That's going to encapsulate the whole reading. Storyline spreads get very big by themselves, so I can see why they probably wanted to focus just on that. And I also got to tell you about this wonderful display right here. So we have plenty to chat about, Leo. Let's get started, shall we? Cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us a bunch of time. I'm going to bring you in right here so you can watch and see the table with me. Hit that like button if you're ready to have a great September. And we are on and recording, guys. This is what I like to share with you here. My table, I do my ritual cuts. Basically, we're cutting each deck into 3 pieces and then putting them back together in a separate order. That satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot and is the same procedure for personal private reading, so it's just like you're here with me now. Now, the storyline format, regardless that it's about love or anything else, starts with 5 cards. So here's your base 5 cards. These are the most important. We're going to have to keep going from there. And that's going to be my end, actually. All in view, nice and good. So you can see we start here. And this guy here is facing inward. That's letting me know that that is our end. That is where we stop for the storyline. Now about getting the pairings together. First, checking the inverts. We do have some blocked. It's right on that cusp. So I'm going to leave it the way it is to get my pairings. So we're looking at 3 stories. It's going to basically be designated like this. I think it's still on screen. You guys are good. This is where it starts filling up the table a little bit. I'm actually just going to get 1 card here. We got a couple pips. I'm actually going to pull 1 more, see if that's a person. It is. Going over here. If any of this gets off screen, I will move the camera around so you guys can see. I do think it's very important that you guys see this. For those of you who just like to look at the cards, I got some people here who also read tarot themselves and are into this kind of stuff, so I like to show you the whole kind of spectrum of what's going on. All right, so that became even more blocked there. This one's good to go here, and that one is also good to go. So I just need to do 1 discard, which is for this story. And that's going to be kept just the way it is. So our card work is done with the exception of Oracle Angel cards. Every story gets 1 of those. And then it's just a matter of letting you see it all. All right, guys, so there we go. Let's check the view. All right, so story number 1 is going to be to the left of my hand right there. I think you can see it nice and good. Story 2 is going to be to the left of my hand. To the right of all that glitters is gold. So basically this little chunk right here. To the right of my stone, to the left of my hand. That's where we're working there. It's going to be story 2, and then story 3 is going to be all the way down this way, basically to the right of my hand there. And yeah, we got a lot to talk about, guys, so let's get started, Leo. Leo Love Corner. I already told you guys that the Love Corner is a big place, so keep in mind too that this is a general reading. The context is going to be huge for you getting the most information out of these. That's always a big part of that. Some people are better at that than others. Good time to remind you too that since this is a general reading, we're sharing a lot of Leo energy here. If you're looking for messages that are personal, private, specific only to you, I do offer a wide variety of different services and readings, all of them personalized, on my website, scottsagent.com. Let's get started, guys. Story number 1. It's my smaller one, but sometimes that is the most, sometimes the smaller ones can apply to the most people because they're a little bit more vague, a little bit less moving parts. First thing that they show here in regards to love is that this whole thing is breaking free. We're getting some freedom here. some constraint that used to be there that is opening up, more freedom, more mobility. For some of you, this may mean that you're becoming single. Some of you are dealing with breakups, and hey, I got the freedom now. I can move around. I can do what I want. I don't have to answer to anybody anymore. That kind of energy. So that's not for everybody, of course. Keep in mind, if the first couple stories don't make sense, hang with it. We got 3 here for you lined up. One of these stories is going to be a home run for you. But we talk about the freedom is the key there, even if it's not a breakup. There is more just freedom going on in the love corner. Maybe you and your partner are having more free time. Less kids. Kids are back at school. More than that, though, usually it's more of like, there's just freedom and mobility here. Maybe it's even financial freedom. So freedom is a good thing. It's one of my favorite words. So I like the way we start here, moving away from the tie down. Now, of course, if they're talking about that tie down as a relationship, it could be for some of you, and that's why I gave you that definition too. In a general, I try to cover all my bases, give it to you all, guys. They do talk about a younger person here who is upside down about the situation. There may be a younger person involved. Maybe it's a child of yours. Maybe it's a child of somebody else's who is being affected by the situation. Just basically throwing it out there, letting you know that this does affect them. They may appear to be like unaffected by it, like they're acting normal, they're okay. But really, they're saying that they're a little upside down about this. So this may be, if you know who they're talking about here, you may want to have a chat with them and explain it to them, make sure that they're on page here, on course, and that, they don't feel like it's their fault or, have anger kind of built up towards you or the other person who's involved here. So just keep in mind the younger person. This is usually a generation gap younger. That's why I usually go to kids there. It's usually my card of kids. They do also show that there is some discontent here. There is some of you are not necessarily happy here of how story 1 has gone. Maybe you wish it went different, but at the same time, we have all that glitters is not gold. So there's something here that maybe appeared to be one way, but it turned out a different way. And September is kind of the time when this unmasking occurs, when the truth kind of comes to the light, or you kind of figure out that, I was told this and I got this, and they don't match. They don't line up. They're not congruent with each other at all. Basically, I got played or I got lied to or whatever they're talking about here. So there's something here in story 1 that it is not what it appears to be. And that may be something you already know. That may be something that is why you're discontent and going back to the freedom. Maybe this is the reason that there was a departure, why there was a freedom to begin with of breaking free. So there's story 1. Of course, not for everybody, but a very interesting one. Actually turned out to be very specific for such a small one. Let's get into story 2, guys, and then our big one, story 3. Story number 2, we talk about the Lover's card inverted. This is basically showing my coupled up Leos here that are, maybe not feeling it, maybe going through a phase, maybe a fight of some form, or not seeing eye to eye on something. Usually it's not a huge necessary deal, but at the same time there is a strong emotional pull here, and actually mental too. So this can affect mental health. It actually comes up as my sickness card. So it could be that somebody's actually really stressed out about something here, or has a lot of anxiety or worries, or even maybe has been crying about something here. And that is coming up on my female side. Not like us males are, notorious criers anyway, but it definitely comes up on the female side. Now on the male side, they do show taking authority here. So that is usually what the man is doing here. Maybe too much authority. This could even be like domineering, way too much strong stuff, where, really they should back down a little bit. They should not be so stubborn, so hard-headed. But at the same time, there is a level here of where a balance needs to be reached, where they just need to kind of feel like they're the boss and hold the power here to a certain regard. Now, keep in mind that the context is going to be different. So this may be a small version of what I'm describing for you, or this may, if you're here in story 2 at all, or this may be an intense version of this where, this is a problem. This is a huge problem. So one way or the other, they're showing that there's a balance that needs to be met here between maybe of power, between the man trying to be the man in the relationship and the woman just not really happy about certain things. There's something here that is trying to move to the next level here. So this is not like, I don't feel like at all that you guys are trying to break up or trying to separate or anything here. At story 2, you're really trying to get to the next level here. You're trying to get past something, either forgive and forget or come together to work on something. Maybe it's a challenging situation and you really need to kind of work together here. They show a leg up. This is my polar bear with my polar bear cub trying to climb on its back. So it's basically like, the one person helping the other up. Long story short, in this case, polar bears. But it doesn't matter who they show. It signifies the entities that's going on here. So there's two people trying to help each other out here. Hopefully you guys can move forward into this. I've given you some factors that may help you understand the other person's side a little bit more. If for the man, he really needs to keep in mind the mental capacity of the female. Don't want to bruise her emotions either. Or I feel like it's more mental than emotions. Kind of the mindset. You don't want to override too much. And then on the female side, you need to find the balance of letting him be the man, but not to the point where it's too dominant. Very, very strong. Now, before I get into story number 3, which is my big one with a lot of moving parts, I do like to give you guys the moon cycle forecast. Show you guys what's coming in the moons so you can take advantage of it and basically knock September out of the park. First thing that comes in is the full moon, actually, and that hits on September the 10th. That is the best time to get anything out of your life. We did talk about that freedom in story 1. We did talk about well, no, didn't. That's not really applicable there in story 2. Well, we'll talk more about the kind of the new moon energy in a second. But full moon is getting something out of your life that doesn't fit. It may not be about love at all. This could be, like let's say you want to kick a bad habit. Let's say you want to just sell something. You got to sell the car. You got to sell, an old hobby collection. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's something you got to get out of your life. The full moon is the prime opportune time. It's when the universe is just like open to that kind of stuff. I call it the garbage truck energy. It's when you got to get it out. Send it to the street. Let the universe garbage men take it away for you. So that hits on the 10th. You don't have to do these things on the 10th, but toward the beginning of the month is a better time to do so. Now, adversely, we have that new moon, which flows in here September 25th. That is the best time to bring something brand new into your life that wasn't there before. So if you're trying to get a leg up here and improve the relationship by bringing something new in, this is the time to focus on that. But again, it's not just bound by that. It's not constrained to love. This could be if you're trying to bring in new love. Let's say you're a single Leo trying to bring in new love. The end of the month, right around the 25th, is a much more better time to do that. Same thing with new money. Same thing with new work, new business, new job, new health. You're trying to do something new with diet or exercise, which we haven't even discussed at all yet. That is much better placed, guys, at the end of September, right around the 25th. Now, if the moon cycles confuse you at all or you'd like a little clarity or guidance on that, I've put together a moon cycle cheat sheet. It is free. It is parked on my website, scottsagent.com. On the videos page, you go to the bottom of my videos page and you can check that out. And it shows the ebbs and the flows, moving things in and out of your life and how you can use these cycles to make things flow a little bit more effortless to just improve your lives, long story short. While you're at the website, make sure you're signed up for the newsletter program. I take really good care of my newsletter people. My newsletter people get a couple free readings every single year just by being signed up to the newsletter. I only send one newsletter email every single month. It's just for updates, what's going on with the channel, as well as promo codes. Save you guys money on readings, all kinds of great stuff in those newsletters. Also, speaking of newsletter, I did release a brand new product here. Going to tell you about it in this video as well. This is not just for my newsletter people. This is for everybody. But we have a brand new product in the shop, releasing and debuting right now. So while you're at the website, make sure you check out the shop. And let me tell you all about this. I'm going to plug that in right now. Okay, guys, the time has come to unveil and reveal the brand new product. The Scott Sagent line here is now offering you, if you are sunflower obsessed like me and a lot of other spiritual people, we're going to talk more about the sunflower momentarily, but this, guys, is sunflower potpourri. To my knowledge, this is a niche item. I don't think it exists out there, at least not like this. This is produced in small batches, hand fragranced, a quarter-pound bag. It's your standard size potpourri bag, but this fragrance, I wish I could allow you to smell it through your computer, through your phone. Unfortunately, technology doesn't let us do that yet, so you're gonna have to take my word on this, but this thing smells. The aroma is dreamy. It is dreamy, it is heavenly, it is fragrant, the aroma is powerful, but sweet. The sunflowers are not bulky enough to really make a true potpourri, so we had to use other items. But we captured the essence of the sunflower here by the color patterns, kind of the fall, a lot of the yellow, make it pop just like the yellow in the sunflower does. And what this is hand fragranced. So that means by hand, and make sure that the whole thing is fragranced, not just the top part. not just a little bit of it. So it's all hand kind of mixed there. And also, the high quality ingredients are in here. That's very important so that the potpourri doesn't mold. In fact, this is supposed to last 10 years or longer as far as the construction of it. Now, as far as the fragrance, that does eventually run out. We'll talk about that more momentarily too. It looks kind of small, but it actually lives very, very large. Let me show you how big this actually presents. This is a bowl that I just picked up at the dollar store. You're going to actually, if you're going to do it right in one bowl, you need a bigger bowl than this. This one doesn't quite cut it because I got all this went into this, plus this is left over. So there is a lot. So if I didn't overfill this one, you could definitely fill 2 of these bowls, almost to the brim. And, use this in 2 different rooms. This works best, guys, in any kind of small rooms here. It basically creates a scent for the entire room. And it's best in bathrooms, small little linen areas, or anywhere you just want to freshen up. It works best in a shallow bowl. It needs to be able to breathe. That's the key here. So you don't want to pack it down too tightly. This is packed tightly just for shipping reasons. But once you open it up, you set it up so it can breathe. The fragrance eventually goes away. Well, how long is that going to take? It's hard for me to say right now, but I'm estimating about 3 months. That's what good quality potpourri does. It lasts about 3 months. So that's what this is. And that's what we're expecting this to do and how to live. In about 3 months, let's say, the fragrance runs out, doesn't smell anymore. Well, that sucks. Now you got to buy another potpourri, right? No, you don't. Actually, with this is the sunflower spritzer bottle that is a separate product, but they're a team. They go together. This is a tandem here. And this is the same exact scent palette. The difference is that this is the strong stuff to last 3 months, and this is just more diluted. Now, the reason that's diluted is because it serves other purposes. This can be used as a room spray. You can freshen up your whole house by spraying a couple pumps of this stuff and make it last for days. You can, if you have cats, a couple sprays in the litter box. When that starts smelling bad, your house smells good again. If somebody stinks up the bathroom, you can use this for anything to make smell better. And this is also skin friendly. People can wear this as, it's not as strong as a perfume, but it's more of the line of like a body spray, a body mister. You can actually wear it on yourself. But basically, the way that you refresh this, you can rejuvenate it instead of getting a new one or throwing it out. You can basically recycle this by all you do, take a big plastic bag, like a grocery bag, plastic, dump the whole thing in there, spray a good wet layer on the top of it with your mister, with your spritzer here. Good wet layer. Close that bag up, shake it up, put it back in your bowl, and you're good to go. You're good to go for at least another week or more. The sunflower is God's flower. It basically represents all the main characteristics of the year. What you got there are your 52 petals. That represents weeks in the year. Inside, you got your seeds. You got 365 in a perfect flower. And it also follows the Fibonacci sequence of the Fibonacci spiral, that the way that the seeds kind of go around in a spiral. And also the leaves coming up the stems, there's supposed to be 12 in a perfect plant. That represents, you guessed it, the 12 months. So the sunflower kind of represents our cycle, and that is why it's called God's flower. You're going to love it, guys. Check it out. Okay, guys, we are all set here for your big story 3. Also, talking about the website, there's also the brand new product I've released. Didn't want to forget to tell you about that. That is my yes or no product. You may have seen that in the generals before. Sometimes it comes up, not often, but the yes or no spread in this case is going to be offered as a mini audio product. This is very affordable, guys. It's personalized just to you. You get to ask a specific question, yes or no. Spirit is going to give you guidance on the yes side, factors and things that are moving parts basically, and the no side so that you can make the best decisions possible to you. So it is a very, very specific audio product that I have. A wide variety of different products available on the website. Now, My Month, which is all about your month, spiritually guided. Also, the Health or Chakra Scrub, which is about your physical health or your spiritual health. You get a choice there. And also my Angel Protection and Animal Totem package. Lots of great small mini products. Check that all out on the website. Great products available for you right now. So let's get into story number 3, guys. Story 3, we start with the Hangman inverted, so that we're breaking free from stagnation here. We got some stuff that used to hold you guys down. My Leos here in your love corner is breaking free. So maybe this is family dynamics. If somebody was, let's say your sibling was having to stay with you for a short time because, she was dealing with some rough stuff in her life. Well, now she's moving out. Now she's getting a place. So we get this delay energy that is just rupturing here in the month of September. So this is good. Any kind of delay kind of stuff, movement is what is like where we grow from. Movement is so good for us that when we get the stagnation moving in there and the energy just sits, nothing good comes from it. In the physical body, that presents itself a lot of times as cancer, problem energy that just doesn't have any movement to it. So here we got energy that is finally breaking free, that has been stagnated. So what is that for specifically for you? You'd probably be better at telling me what that is than me telling you what I think it is. So there is energy that is opening up here. They do show that some of you, you're actually selling something here. This could also be full moon purging energy, getting rid of something too. We already talked about that in your moon cycles. But it's a really good time here for you to sell something, especially if it's time. And it's been just looming, it's been sitting around for too long, something like that. Get it out, guys. There it is. We also have new love coming in here that's blocked. So this is on a delay. So it's letting you know that if your love corner is something like for my singles, this is something you want to change. This is starting to get broken open here. It doesn't mean that love is coming, because they do show me the Ace of Cups it's on a delay, but it's on its way. So it doesn't matter if it's not going to get here in September. What matters is that it's going to get here. It's going to come. So it may be presenting itself to you now, even though it's not coming to full fruition. So this could be like, if you meet somebody great, but you haven't, maybe you just started talking to somebody great. I guess I should present it that way. Maybe you started talking to them, but you haven't met them in person yet, or something like that. So this is good new love that's on a delay, guys, here. And this is also emotional overflowing love with the family. That could be for, my coupled up Leos. That is just on a delay, not here yet. We do have new money coming in, guys. That's very good. New money for the family, new money to improve the family with, that kind of stuff. They do talk about that travel does come in blocks, so travel may be an issue if any of you are trying to get out and travel in the month of September. I probably wouldn't if you have a choice. If you already have plans to do so, go for it. Just, at the same time, expect that there may be some challenges that you just have to overcome. It's no big deal. You got this. You can do it. Now, the other part of that can also be that there can be some things that are moving towards some challenges here with rapids. Just take the travel part out of it. That is one definition of the card. But we come back to the river analogy here. That's why I call it rapids. It's just like you're moving through a part of the river that just has rapids, and you're in your inner tube, right? You can steer a little bit, but not really. If there's a boulder coming, you just got to bounce off of it. So you're hitting some delays, even though we have this break opening up. There's still some rapids to be met here. There's still some harsh currents, so to speak, that you're going to have to traverse in the month of September. That lets you know that there's some places here that you're going to need to step up. It is not to deter you to be like, oh gosh, I'm going to be dealing with all this like terrible stuff in September. It's not that at all. It's basically just saying, hey, don't expect everything to be perfect. Very few times in life is it ever perfect to begin with. But here, these are things that you can overcome. These are things that you can deal with and, get back on course. A lot of you show a deep knowing here. So they're basically saying you already have a good idea of what I'm talking about. I'm not surprising you here. If you're here in story 3 about the situation I'm describing, more than likely you're already aware of this and be like, yeah, I already hit that boulder in the middle of the river. I already bounced off of it. I'm ready to bounce off the next one too. So this is the attitude that you have to push through for September. And of course, with that opening of the energy from the Hangman, it's going to open up at some point. Just when is it? This reading is for the whole month, so this could come later in the month. They don't really give me a specific time frame to be looking at here. So that is the entire reading, guys. Since we have no extra, that was the core. That was the core. That was the crux of your reading. All the main stuff there. I do need to pull a runestone for you guys before I let you go. That's going to tie everything in quite nicely. Spirit always does a very good job with that. Quick little spin around. And here you go. Let me show you this guy right there. So this, interestingly enough, Leo, is the runestone for constraint. So time to keep it in a little bit in September. Whether we're talking about the new money in story 3, maybe the new money comes in and should not necessarily be spent. Maybe it should be saved. It could be better used for something else. Also constraint with the situation there with the freedom and the boredom. That happens in story 1 there. Constraint, maybe it's time to just kind of keep it simple right now and to not necessarily make a lot of huge changes. Let it kind of play out in front of you. Zoom out a little bit. And constraint here in story number 2 can be about really setting boundaries, really communicating very clearly with your partner. Story 2 is such a story about partnership and about two people coming together to meet problems head on and work together instead of work apart or separate. So very good energy there for constraint. Once you kind of realize where it fits and place the tie in there, you can really kind of start to unravel this picture that the Spirit is painting for us here. So Constraint is the runestone, very good one there. So that is the entire reading, guys. Going to wrap up here. Have a love reading again here for you in about a week with my love readings, but we've already covered it. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be more like an update for you guys, I guess, since you've already got the meat and potatoes, the bulk of it here. So that is the entire reading in its entirety, guys. Check out the wonderful sunflower potpourri, the sage soap, which I actually just had to reorder. So, that thing has just flown off the shelves, the proverbial shelves, so to speak. So I'll see you guys in about a week. Take care and have a wonderful September, would you?